G'day guys, how are you all? Nice to see you again, thanks for having me back. It has been a couple of weeks since I've been with you. Yes, I'm sure you can tell from my lovely olive complexion. Scottish heritage, and there's no fighting that. But yes, a couple of weeks in Samoa. We're going to share a little bit of the trip around the markets. Not much, but a little bit with you. The other 300 photos I'll spare you from. We are also going to mention briefly the raw food class workshop we've got coming up. Some home delivery dates to consider for next week. We have Barbara from Wise Feet did some egg handling at our Super Saturday. We have some footage there. That and some wonderful produce to share with you. Excellent special on the kiwi fruit again. You can buy 20, that's the size, for $6.95, and they're lovely and sweet. My Magatha will attest to that. Now in the apples, things are starting to move a little bit. The galas from Tasmania, they're eating okay. They've softened off a little bit. The quality is just so-so. Red Delicious is still eating very, very well. The red Fujis are also eating very well, but the size has moved up. And I'm here to tell you the premium Fujis are with us for perhaps another 2 or 3 weeks. And that is it. Pink Ladies are also still first class. Still lovely sizes for the kiddies. But again, don't expect these, beyond the next 3 or 4 weeks. Again, in the heritage apples, we've got beautiful Brins, nice, sweet and crunchy. The Sundowners, they're eating very, very well. And we also now have Tassie Snow, which is so named because of its delicate white flesh. Bananas have certainly come southward in price. They're lovely, smaller pieces. Lovely and sweet. We have a mix of Queensland and New South Wales fruit in here this week. In mandarins, the season is getting late. The quality in terms of eating, they're still lovely and sweet. There's sometimes a little bit of softness within the flesh. What I mean by that is sometimes at the points there you get a little bit of softness, but they're still lovely and juicy and eating pretty well for this time of year, I think. Oranges have been eating absolutely superbly. Really, though, the pick of the blood oranges. Got that nice little bit of blush in them. But strawberries this week are very, very good. Charlie, what do you think?
Good.
Good, nice.
Yeah?
She does love a strawberry.
Like just good or like kind of mind-blowingly good?
Really good.
Really good. Excellent.
Cool.
And Scotty, what do you think? Very good.
Very good. Very nice.
So Brent, what do you think?
Yeah, they are good. They are very good. It is getting that time of year where we're starting to wanting to move on for some new flavours, and I can let you know that we're probably 2 to 3 weeks away from mangoes, so that's a bit exciting. There's a little bit of watermelon around, there's a little bit of rock melon around. The prices are still high, but they'll soon start to soften a little bit. Now I say this every year, but just watch it. The grapes come out as soon as the weather warms up in the supermarkets. Grapes aren't in season until January, February. I'm just saying that now because every year we get asked around about this time why we don't have grapes. That's why we don't have grapes, because they haven't grown yet. And the supermarkets either pull them out of their cold storerooms or their suppliers' cold storerooms, or import them. October 16th, Sunday, commencing at 12:30, running for 4 hours, we have the next raw food cooking class run by Julia. And now this one is focusing on spring. So as it says here, after eating heavier and more warming foods throughout autumn and winter, a spring cleanse can help
just alkalize the blood, give you more energy, help you think more clearly, improve your complexion, soften skin and hair, improve your immune system, and give you that beautiful spring glow. It'll showcase a range of highly nutritious recipes you can easily start incorporating into your diet. Bookings are absolutely essential, and it's essential that you've booked by the 12th of October. Broccoli, great special, $4.99. Tomatoes, starting to develop a bit more colour and flavour, and the price is starting to come down a little bit, both round and Euromas. Carrots from Tassie, absolutely magnificent. Beans are absolutely brilliant. Capsicum, all very large at present, but beautiful, firm, meaty pieces. Snow peas are excellent value at present, and asparagus is really starting to kick into season. Now in the greens, silver beet, we're sort of early in a new flush, so the sizes of the bunches are on the small side. Opposite for the English spinach though, magnificent large bunches of English spinach. Kale, the local rain we've had has really sort of freshened things up, and Chris says it's just leaping out of the ground currently, so that's a nice black Tuscan. We also have other varieties, the red kale and the Scottish curly kale. Also, beautiful Swiss chard. Love the colour of that. The shallots this week are fantastic. We also have a little bit of purple and green broccolini. Cucumber, season still about another month away locally, and then we'll see some really good prices for lead cues. Supply is still very, very skinny, hence the price is up, but that's the size we're looking at. Nice sized bunches, but lovely little bulbs. Nice to roast those. Or straight into the juicer. We have wonderful new shirts. These are Australian made organic cotton t-shirts. Nicely done.
Give us a twirl.
Look, they're beautiful organic, and they feel so nice and soft. They really do feel nice and soft on your skin. It's got a lovely little seedling there with its roots branching out into its local community, and it's a nice metaphor, I think, for what Organic Feast is. Now we have male and female. We haven't actually yet got a model, a voluntary model for the shirts. That's a lady's cut in the charcoal. Cream, green, chocolate, punk. Samoa, yes, Samoa. We really enjoyed eating local produce, and here we have some local taro, some yam, some cassava, breadfruit, the rambutans, oh they were good. And the mangoes, let me say, we have the best mangoes in the world in Australia. Red bananas. I love going to the markets. One of the highlights for me, definitely going to the markets and seeing all the lovely produce that other people enjoy. Stopped by the local fish markets. It was all sustainably harvested. They went out in their little boats and selling locally. And look, just to tease you with one, this is the little beach that Sam and I got married on. Lala Manu. Well worth a visit. Next week, long weekend. Therefore, no deliveries on October 4, Tuesday. Tuesday orders will be done on Wednesday, except for Port Stephens, which we will personally deliver Thursday morning. It's important to note that orders to Hawk's Nest, Tea Gardens, Port Macquarie, McMaster's Beach, Avoca, etc. will be back on Wednesday afternoon and delivered for Thursday morning. Short weeks, very, very busy weeks. We really appreciate your orders in as early as possible, so ideally by midnight Tuesday would be wonderful. And now to Barbara from Wise Feet, Super Saturday, ear candling and a little bit of a demonstration and a little bit of talk about what she's doing there. So that's it from me. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. We're not doing anything next week because of the long weekend. Perhaps when we talk next, we'll have mangoes. Perhaps. Wait and see. Bye.
So I'm here with Barbara from Wisdom for Living.
Thanks for coming in, Barbara.
Hi, I've had a lovely day. Thank you.
Excellent. So what's Wisdom for Living all about?
Well, Wisdom for Living is trying to provide people with some really good quality products that they can take some responsibility for their own health. That's probably the most important thing, I think, for as you age. My saying is, wise, well, strong. That's what I like people to be, especially as you age.
Great. So you've been doing a bit of e-candling today.
I have. I've done about 10 today.
Yep.
Lots of people who've never ever done e-candling before didn't even know what e-candling was.
Right.
And, e-candling's been around for hundreds and thousands of years, a long time.
Didn't know that.
Interesting that it's in every culture on the planet, from South America, Australian Aboriginals use a form of it, because basically it's a chimney, just a chimney. So it's fascinating to see in South America them use a pandanus leaf that's into a trumpet and lit. In Australian Aborigines use a spiral eucalypt leaf and light it. In Southern Europe they often just use a rolled up piece of newspaper. In Egyptian times they used a cone. So these are a very sophisticated version of ear candles. And you can see how they're tapered. Taper's very important. That this fits in every size ear. A lot of the straight ones don't fit in some people's ears. It's critical that this is airtight in the ear canal. Very important. These are not scratchy because they're hand finished. Made of 100% cotton and beeswax infused with propolis, which is an antifungal. Large hole here, small hole this end. When you light this, it's like putting your foot on the accelerator, and it's in the ear. This is drawing very strongly, and it gets this turbulent vacuum going in the ear, and it draws the debris out of the ear. Brings a lot of blood supply to the ear, so you get this tumbling vacuum in here, round and round and round in here, and it draws the debris out, but brings a lot of blood supply to the whole ear canal. Also here on the eardrum, it'll flutter the eardrum because the flame is moving and moving the air. It also can change the pressure slightly inside this middle ear, and it can help drain down the eustachian tube. So when you've got middle ear infection, a lot of pressure in here, it can help drain that. Very good for cleaning out all the sinuses in the head as well. Often people's nose will run, or the stuff will go down the back of their throat. It's really good if you've been flying, if you wear hearing aids, you've got middle ear infection, or your itchy, scratchy ears. Any person who works in a noisy, dusty environment, just especially men particularly, they get a lot of hair in their ears and a lot of wax, and that's a horrid mix. Often they stick the keys in their ear, and often they'll get an infection in there. So if you can keep your ears in better condition, you won't have that not working properly, because the more wax and hair in the ear, because the wax cones just can't work anymore. Right. So it helps to keep them in good condition and guard against damaging your ears by sticking sharp things in it.
Yeah, right.
Like your keys.
Yeah. So you mentioned about a dusty, noisy environment. Yeah. The dust is pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But is noise detrimental?
Noise,
and is that conducive to getting hairy
ears?
Yes,
because if you're in, like people who wear those earbuds all the time with very loud music, it can damage their hearing. But often your ear, to try and protect itself, will grow more hair. And particularly with men with all the testosterone, they'll grow more hair in their ears. And I had a miner this morning, and his ears were very hairy.
Wow.
And he works down the mine, noise, you see, noise and dust, and his ears are always being washed out. He just said, I feel so much better, clearer. And of course, syringing the ears out often washes out too much. This is only drawing with warm air in and warm air out. It's only just drawing the debris out. It's not washing it all. If you wash it all out, you're in danger of getting an infection, because you're washing out that waterproof coating that's naturally in there. You need the wax in there, but you don't need too much in there. Many people with a cotton bud thing, they end up with a pile here.
Yeah.
They've got a mountain of wax in there behind it, when they're swimming, whatever, water gets in there, or they're washing their hair, and they get fungus in there, and they get itchy, scratchy ears too. So this is just a very simple way to maintain your ears in good condition. It'd be nice if we didn't have all those things, but we do.
Yeah.
In our environment. And all sorts of toxic stuff that we're exposed to all the time is certainly affecting our ears.
Yeah,
See, I'm getting some smoke here. See this? See this smoke? See, this means you need to just wriggle it a bit and stop it. See how I did that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's because it got blocked off for a minute, so maybe a bit of wax has gone up into the ear canal.
It's very soothing.
It's very soothing, yes. Well, some people say it puts you in an alpha state, which is very relaxing. I know I had a little boy here who saw me doing the big hunky miner and said, could you do that to me? And I did, and you should have seen him. The miner kind of got up like as though he was in the days and staggered over there. And then the little boy just thought it was fun. He said, oh, that's wonderful. But it's great for kids because it helps prevent ear problems, like infections, middle ear. You know, when they've been swimming and they've got muck in their ear, it's really, really good for kids. People who wear hearing aids, they're always good for people with hearing aids because their ears are artificially blocked off from the outside. So these are Wise Fit foot patches. These are traditional Chinese medicine, and what these are is a poultice. So as you can see by this illustration, you stick that like little hippie tea bag on the foot, on the heel first, and I'll explain that in a minute. You can see there's a plaster there. So you stick it on your foot and go to sleep. Now, everybody's body goes into rest and repair at night time, and this is what's helping that natural process. So we're sticking it on the heel, as I've said. The heel, in reflexology terms, is the rubbish bin of the body. So you start there. It's like if you've got a messy shed in your backyard, what you want to do is empty the bins, and then once you've got that shed as tidy as you like, you don't need to tidy it every day. So you do a little course with these. Just following on with that analogy, a little course with these. How tidy you want it, how well you want to feel afterwards is really up to you because you're looking inwards. They're very dark when they come off, and that's what they should be. Dark and wet means that they're working. If they're not dark and wet, you need to drink more water or you've got them on back to front. So you're not waiting for them to get paler. That is totally wrong. You're waiting for them to make you feel better. That's what you're looking for. Inward, not outward. Not results outside, inward results. And they're a great thing for you because you can all do it yourself. However you want it. So some people will use them until the aches and pains go away. Some people have used them when they're on all sorts of medications and they don't affect any medication. People on chemo stops a lot of the body pain. Really good for arthritis and fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue. They've got lots in there for use. If you're standing up for hours at a time and your legs are aching, if you get up every morning and you think I feel terrible, have a bit of a detox. Simple.
Great way. Yeah, good to be able to do something in your sleep.
Yeah.
Effortless.